The Jews weep for this supposed prophet. As if he were some kind of a god.
If this child is him, his blood will not be on my hands.
I know who you carry.
He is already here. The Messiah.
What are you saying?
They will not see. Not until he is broken.
A woman who comes up with a story like this is either trying to get out of our marriage or she's a liar who's been with another man.
My wife was unfaithful.
You mean to kill her?
You know the law as well as I.
You're avoiding facing your family and facing Joseph.
Are you really pregnant?
He did not ask you to convince Joseph. He asked you to trust him.
You defy your king.
You would defy your God. You kill a child to keep your throne.
Bethlehem will drown in tears before his name is ever spoken.
But through his wounds, all of mankind will be healed. And for those lost in darkness, they are about to see a great light.
First day, virgin birth. Here we go. Chaos begins. Let's get after it. I think to me, the main theme of this story is, are we willing to trust God and walk forward in faith when it might cost us everything? It might cost us our lives. It might cost us our career. It might cost, are we willing to take that step forward?
So what we've set out to do is take something people are very personally familiar with, get in there to the actual very personal moments that you know must have happened, and try to find what was happening in Mary's heart and put it on screen.
First, as an actor, obviously, the layers of Mary, thousands, like you had her youth, her faith, her vulnerability, and then her strength, so it was very, very emotional for me.
The angel came to Mary and he gave her this profound message: you're going to carry the Son of God. And we kind of gloss over, like, Mary was a young girl, and she was faithful, but there was real human emotion that centered around that. So what was that conversation like when she told Joseph for the first time? How did she react? How did she dealt with anxiety herself. I think that she had to walk forward in courage while dealing with human emotion. And to me, that's what we wanted to capture with this film.
I don't believe I've seen the journey of Mary and all of the emotions and range of emotions she could have been going through. So I think that'll be very good for people to put their foot in and just go, oh man, if I were in her shoes, I would feel that same range of emotions. And I think that's important to her story.
It's for rain or shine. Rain will be later on in the shoot.
We just shot a scene with Gabriel and Joseph. It's fantastic, incredibly emotional. And I was telling the crew and cast, we were talking last night, just cannot believe we get to do this. This is such an awesome story. God has opened up incredible doors for us to do this project here.
We got a rain scene tonight, and it's a relatively big setup. We got a lot of lights, got a rain machine here. It's a lot of coordination. So we're just taking the time to make sure everything is good. All I have to do is make him
Great.
happy.
Thank you.
He does, by the way. He does. Logistics is whenever there's a night scene, you backlight it. Because it always looks good when you backlight it. It doesn't matter where the moon is, you just backlight it. And then you throw an ambient on it. So what we're kind of doing here is we got 3 lights to play with an angle. Because our moon is like 45 degrees that way. And then this rain is just going to give it that magic like sauce. And so then these lights are going to complement that sauce.
We got a big old water tank over here. I've got a sump pump. We've got tubes and manifolds and everything. Basically, they're all connected down into actual water hoses, and the water hoses are connected to hand wands, and the hand wands have little rain heads on them to make it look like it's pouring down rain.
The amazing lighting, the amazing sets, being at Capernaum Studios takes you back in time. Not only does it come to life with so many talented people, but it just really helps you develop and dive into your character.
I want to make sure that they can feel immersed in what it is that we have going on scene. First and foremost, giving talent a world that they can live in. Like when Joseph is whittling and working on the cup, he is in a workshop that could feel more comfortable and natural to him, so that when the audience watches that, you might get the impression that he's been there for years.
With Mary's looks, Derek and I worked together very closely. Derek really wanted that classic blue veil with the white tunic look. And I got to bring in some pinks and some really nice beiges. And I got to kind of pull together quite a few options for her. I think the virgin birth is just a beautiful visual representation of certain chapters or books from the Bible. I think it's stunning, it's beautiful, and it gives you a really good visual of what you're reading and what you are teaching.
There's been rain, there's been tears. Every day has been something. This is not your average beauty shoot. This is lived in, organic hair and makeup. There's a lot of subtleties. There's little details like dirt in the fingernails and in the teeth, and just little bits and pieces that we really have to think of a little bit of everything on. It's all part of the thing. It's coming together. Beautiful. Attention to detail. You have to have it.
I wanted to create a mentality where we are all putting our blood, sweat, and tears, starting from me and everyone across the board, where there's joy, there's enthusiasm. If someone needs help, like, I'm not above carrying a C-stand or a sandbag. I don't care what union you're in. That's the kind of culture that I like to create. And I feel like if you can create that culture, if you're willing to lay yourself, your ego, your pride down from the crew, like everyone across the board, from production assistant, director, production designer, we're all the same. Like, there's not one person more important than the other. And to me, that is true collaboration.
This shot in itself, we wanted some movement in it. With any VFX shot, if you lock off the camera, it makes it very easy to put in the CG elements. But when there's some movement, then it becomes a little bit more complex in the sense where you have to start tracking that object into the scene.
Back at it again with Goat Productions. We got baby Jesus on set today. VIP right here. Don't touch him, don't look at him, don't even breathe near him.
Maybe curious if you want, but definitely interested to the point that you're not bothered by this at all. Remember, it's the tradition, so it's not necessarily overly cruel, it's just how it goes. So raise your hand if you're on my jerk squad. Okay, come over here, please.
So today we've got a moving scene through a crowd of people that when you see it, we'll all be making noise and everything, but we'll shoot it. Nobody will be making noise, hopefully. And then we'll go back and capture that afterwards. They can mix it in the way they want. Because their mouths aren't making noise, all their feet make all the noise. I hear everything.
Derek reached out to me a few months ago, and we've been working together ever since. Pulled in the main cast and the extras. Derek's amazing. This whole team is amazing. I have to say, I love everybody here. The cast is amazingly talented. Even our villagers, our extras, our background are wonderful. It's been wonderful to work with everybody.
When you get to Capernaum Studios, it's just like, oh, this is it. This is it. I am Mary. And working with this cast and this crew has been amazing. It's just, I cannot even put it into words. They're so committed to the story. Everybody has poured their hearts into it, and you can see it, you can sense it, that we're doing something special, honoring someone, and you feel it.
Working with Derek he's not like anyone else I've ever worked with. During rehearsals or even during the scene, he'll have scene partner or actor step out of the room for a second. Let me have a word with this person. And he'll give us little cues or little notes so the person that's out of the room doesn't know what's coming next. And so that creates a very authentic response, because you're in the scene, you're in the character, you know what's going on, but you don't know what he tweaked that's going to bring that little subtle difference, that little nuance to the emotion in the role.
As Elizabeth, I feel that I'm pretty much a mentor for Mary. Elizabeth has already been there in her own way, and she walks her through that process a little bit better. I think there's a safety that Elizabeth brings to Mary. And Derek has been wonderful in that he allows for the actor to work through their creativity with some of their ideas as well as his own. So when we're working together, we really come up with the best idea.
I think visually it's going to show angelic, but I feel like the story and the beats and the scene feels more relatable. He communicated that from day one. He said, look, I'm thinking there's going to be, glass here. I thought that's interesting. It felt a little bit in some ways more technical, but it also felt more spiritual.
There's so many messages, There's Mary's experience, there's Zachariah and Elizabeth, there's his doubt and him being redeemed by God. Is the doubt and yet the belief, the miracle, we're in our 80s, having a child, the responsibility that we now know this baby's gonna open up the doors for our Savior.
I am the blind woman, and this woman has been blind her entire life. She is one of those invisible people, which is interesting because everything in her world is invisible, basically, since she's blind. But she has always listened, and she's listened for the voice of the Lord, and she's listened to people who have talked about prophecy and what's going to happen, and that the Messiah is coming.
So one thing I think everyone will be able to relate to in this film, we all have hard choices to make, and sometimes people don't understand, people don't get it, people think we're crazy. I think we'll all be able to relate to Mary with this film.
I play a guy that casts the first stone and shows judgment, and it's just amazing what we got accomplished today, and the way that all the heads were thinking and thinking alike and seeing things from different ways and bringing it all. And I can't wait to see this on screen. It's going to be a lot of fun, and it's been a thoroughly great time, and it's been a blessing.
Every film has a theme, right? I feel like every decision, the way the scene is shot, lighting, it all needs to be filtered through the lens of the theme. And to me, like, the theme of this film is surrender. Are we willing to trust God when it might cost us everything? And through Mary and Joseph's story, I want the audience to walk away feeling encouraged that, you know what? The road ahead might be scary, but if we're able to come to the point and surrender to God's plan, that is far more rewarding than what the plans that we have for ourselves. And that is what we want to encourage the audience with through the story of Mary and Joseph.
So you have to get approval from the director, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Is he a difficult guy to work with?
Gosh, it depends on the day, man. It's if he's hungry, yeah, forget it, man. Forget it. If he gets super angry,
starts throwing things at me.
This director, he's the toughest, man. Make sure you have your Snickers bar.